Olivia Attwood, iconic TV personality, presenter, and podcaster. Welcome to It's Me, Tinx, and welcome to America.
Thank you.
I love when you're here because I love to see the States through your eyes.
Oh, really? What's it like?
Well, I remember when you did that TikTok last time you were here and you were saying like how people don't hear drink like they do in the UK, because you had that really good story of when you were drinking martinis and then you were like getting really car sick and you threw up and then they were like, oh no, we'll take you home, and you were like, no, I'm good to go.
Yeah, fine.
Which I love.
I mean, we have the Brit like crossover.
Yeah.
You get it, and you went to British boarding school, so like
Yeah.
drinking culture is like part of the curriculum.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe people on the internet got mad at me about that TikTok because maybe New York's not so bad because I think people like to drink in New York, but LA.
Totally. People don't. I mean, I was living in LA for 5 years.
And you're going to rehab if you have one heavy night.
No, yeah, and that's why I had to move to New York, back to New York, because nobody would drink with me.
Yeah.
They would have one glass of wine. They'd be like, that's me done for the month. And I was like, oh.
And also there's nowhere to go either.
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're so much more New York, I think.
So much more New York.
Yeah.
It's closer to London. I mean, London and New York are so different, but I do feel much more myself here because over there it's just, I mean, LA's lovely. LA has a lot of good things about it,
And the
but
weather.
the drinking culture is not it. What are your favorite things to do when you come to the States?
It just sounds so boring, but the last few trips to the States, I need to extend so I can actually have some time to just really do what I want to do. They've been so work focused, and we pack like something in 10 days, and it's like so packed in the schedule. But I feel like at the same time, even though I'm running around doing meetings, recordings, things that I do in London, it's just more fun because I'm in New York.
Right.
So even if you're just stopping, you're getting lunch, or we had dinner at Carbone the other night, and it's like the original Carbone, and you're like in there, and you feel like you're in the history of it. Everything's just more fun.
I understand.
Even getting your Starbucks in the morning. It's like, I get
different.
Starbucks in London, but this is way more exciting.
Totally. No. I'm the same way. Like when I go home to London and I go to Gale, I'm like, whoa, like, oh, this is so crazy. Gale is a coffee shop, you guys.
Yeah.
But it's such a big deal because it just feels you're doing your
Yeah.
errands, but like in a different color.
100%.
It's really fun. What are some of the differences, by the way, like between London? We talked a little bit about the drinking culture, but like, what are some of the other differences? Do you find that your humor is sometimes misconstrued in the US?
So this is the interesting thing. In LA, 100%. In New York, not so much.
That's
so
so
I
interesting.
think that the sarcasm and the nuance, not everyone in LA, before everyone starts trolling me, it's going to be a little bit missed. And like, what Brits are like, we'll say something really quite horrendously dark with a completely straight face.
Right.
And then I've been in a room, I've been filming in LA, and then I've been like, oh, I can't think, it's probably something awful. And they've gone, oh my God,
Yeah.
really? And I'm like, oh no, babe, I'm joking.
Yeah.
And they don't talk like that. Like I think in London, the sarcasm and insulting each other. Like I remember we were filming in LA, and we had these two American runners with a fixer, and one day he goes to me, he's like, God, he's like, the way you guys talk to each other is crazy. He's like, do y'all like each other? Is it? And I was like, oh my God, I love that. Like,
I know.
He's like, because you call each other bitches and I was like,
Yeah.
yes, just the banter.
Well, imagine my position, because I have your humor, but I sound like a valley girl. So people are like, what's wrong with you? You're just really, really nasty. And I'm like, that's how I am. That's how I get to know people. And it's for me, because I'm single, it's the worst on dates, because like I'm trying to flirt with someone and I'm like, you're ugly. And they're like, wait, what? And I'm like, oh no, I was like kidding. Like, are you serious? That's a joke. Like, it's just my humor. But that to me is the biggest difference. That's the one thing that I do miss from home is I'm like, just be mean to me. I like it.
And also, like, so dating, that flirty, like, I would want, like, I'm flirting guy and be like, all right, shithead. Like,
exactly.
Do you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah,
exactly.
Like, so if the nuance is lost, then it can just get really awkward really quickly.
Yeah, the sarcasm, I really miss it. Okay, so your big introduction to the world was on Love Island. Do you get annoyed when people reference it so much because you've done so much since then?
Literally, no.
Can I say that? I love that about you.
Yeah.
Because people are gonna get annoyed at me because they're always like, let your guests talk. But I'm like, it's a conversation.
Yeah.
But when people hate the thing that made them famous, I don't get it. Like, I will talk about my dumb TikTok videos till the day I die because that's what gave me a platform, and I love it. So, go on.
No, I mean, like, that is literally it. I have, I don't understand that relationship, or, maybe for some people they didn't have a good experience or whatever, but to just try and not give flowers to the thing that gave you access, right? Yeah. And like, no matter where you try and twist it or cut it, being on Love Island gave me access to all the rooms that I'm in now, and now the jobs that I have. And it launched me out of a pretty stagnant period in my life. And I'm always going to respect that. Also, Love Island is iconic, especially early series. Yeah. It was like a cultural reset in the UK, series 3.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to be part of that. It's,
sure.
That series has been streamed all over the world, like millions and millions of times. And I think, yeah, for me, it's like, I don't have any issue. I still sometimes now, like, I got tagged to something the other day and they were like, Love Islander Olivia Attwood. And then love my followers, they're all in the comments going, what the fuck? She's a broadcaster now. And I'm like, and I love you and don't stop coming for like protecting my back. But also I'm like, yeah, but I also am a Love Islander. I'm also other things now, but I'll always be an Islander in a capacity.
Do you think that Love Island has changed for the better or for the worse?
It's changed for the better in the way it needed to change to look after people. It moved. You have to move with the times. You have to learn from mistakes. Whether that means you don't get some of the raw, organic moments, you don't get it. And also, I think it's nothing. The people that work on Love Island are amazing producers, and I think that you still get such a good series. But what you can never get back with any TV show, like with Big Brother, is the innocence of the cast.
So true.
So like by series 4, the innocence was completely gone because they've seen what can come of the show. See, in my series, it's like none of us had an agent. Why? Like, didn't even think I'd have one afterwards. All I really thought afterwards was like, I really want to get booked to do like a PA and like get loads of free booze, get all my friends. Like, our aspirations were just, well, like, we thought they were quite big aspirations at the time, but obviously then when you have series that are so successful, the people that apply to be on the show are going to have bigger ideas for themselves, as they should. But then of course the show changes with that, and I don't think it makes it a better or a worse show. It just is different.
Sure.
And also when people are a bit more canny and they're a bit more sort of, they've got a bit more game plan, that can also make an interesting show.
Right, because there's more strategy in a way. Yeah, the stakes are higher as well.
Exactly.
I do wish that they would let them smoke cigarettes again. Just give them back the cigarettes.
This is the thing, when I watch the clips on TikTok, which I get clips in all the time, it's like, I saw one the other day, I'm sitting, I don't know where the fuck I thought I was. I'm wearing a hot pink lace thong, a hoodie, and I'm smoking, and I'm just literally swearing. I'm like, it looks like it's like a Benefit Street clip up. Like, it's so, like, and then now, obviously, the other thing is with people being so much more aware of, like, you are on telly and people are looking at you to be the face of collections for Pretty Little Thing or whatever. The girls are thinking so much more into it, whereas I was treating that house like I treat my mate's house on a Sunday morning. I'm standing outside smoking a cigarette in my pants, it's so scruffy, but it's so pure.
It was so pure. It was so good.
So pure.
If they put you in charge of Love Island to produce the next season, what is one thing that you would do to change it? Anything?
The only thing I've always wanted, and I know it's more complicated than this, is just to get some same-sex couples in.
Totally.
Because on it, the hardest part for me about being in that villa was being, like, separated from my gay men.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I was like, I'm just with women I don't know and straight men.
Idea.
This is hell.
Yeah. I mean,
I need a gay.
Complicated, but if
it's complicated, and I know I'm like I say, I'm friendly with a lot of the production team, and making the logistics of a dating show work is very complicated. Like, it's a logistical puzzle nightmare, but that would be my only thing I'd really want to try and make it happen.
Are you able to like enjoy other reality TV shows, having been on a show and having also known how TV works? Are you able to watch any reality TV and just completely switch off and relax?
No, I think I always watch now, and I
kind of can see, you're like, oh, that's because of that and whatever.
Yeah, I enjoy it the same. I'm still a big reality TV fan, but I think my brain is like, even weirdly, you say that, me and my husband Brad, we started rewatching the other month Jersey Shore, from the beginning.
So good.
And then I think it was the first time I watched it since being on Love Island myself in 2017. And I was trying to think, I wonder where that green screen room is. I wonder whether there's a gallery. And Brad's like, shut up. And I'm like, but now I'm watching it through different eyes of like, I wonder if producers ever came into the kitchen and had a chat with them. Like, it definitely affects the way you watch it. I can still enjoy it for what it is.
For sure. So I mean, on Love Island and even now, like you're the same person, which I think is such a testament to your character, and you're so candid and you're so funny. Why do you think you've always been like shown up as yourself, like no matter what? On Love Island, even now when you're obviously doing all these TV shows and you have this huge following, like you've remained constant and it's a very defined self. So what gives you that confidence?
I mean, thank you for once. Very lovely to hear. I think I've always had a very I've not known who I was always, but I've always known what I like and what I don't like, and it's always been very black and white. And I've always been unapologetic about that. And things that I think are cool or I'm not interested in. I've never been really influenced by anyone, which I think is then also interesting when you end up in being kind of influenced yourself. But I think that's just who I am in my core. I think I've never been thinking like, oh, should I like this? Or should I say this? It's always just been a reflection of who I am at that time. The women in my family are really outspoken, really confident. And so I think I had the advantage of like that as an example. And I've just stayed true to myself. Like, see, in the beginning, it was just completely unintentional. And I was, putting my foot in my mouth and, saying things that weren't necessarily always right. But then I will self-narrate and apologize or, explain to someone what my thought process was. And I think that you get a lot more slack with people when you also let them into your brain and you don't claim to be perfect.
That's interesting.
And then weirdly, in the last 2 years, I think me showing up as my true self is become more intentional, because I felt like as my career grew, the pressure to what I say it to my agents, vanilla myself.
Right.
You feel it. No one's saying it. It's just little comments of, oh, well, like, you're hosting on daytime. Should you go to Ibiza this summer? And I'm like, why can't I exist as two people? Why does me having fun with my friends mean that I'm not a good broadcaster?
Yeah.
Why those things should not be mutually exclusive?
Yeah.
So then I've had to actually be a little bit braver and be like, no, I'm going to be who I am. I'm also going to be really good at my job. And when I turn up to work, I'll be the first one there. I'll be the last one to leave. I won't be hungover. Unless it's the radio. No offense to the radio. But because I still in my mind think no one can see me on radio.
Yeah.
The whole thing has got fixed rig cameras. It's a weird mental illusion I have. And then when I'm off, I'm off.
Mm. Have you ever lost a job or an opportunity because of something you said?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing. And I don't think that, I try and I'm never trying to offend people. I don't think my opinions are polarizing. I think that I am myself, but
no, they're not. Just some brands are so like scared of everything.
If they've gone into I mean, I'm sure my name's been floated in meetings, and then they've gone, nah. Did you see her in Ibiza with her ass hanging out? I don't know.
That's like the worst thing you do though, which isn't even bad. Like you go and you have fun with your friends. Like that's so mild.
It's not. Yeah. So not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
So screw them.
Yeah, literally. How do you decide when to clap back to people and when to just leave it? Because I've seen you do a few, just like being like, I want to address this and like this is what, and I love when you do it. So how do you decide which ones to be like, no, actually I'm gonna speak my mind on that?
Like, so it started in the beginning and in my 20s, so offline, like, it was just everyone got like what I call like a nibble, like I just take the bait constantly. And it was actually when he's a therapist, but he's also so like more like a life coach. When I went back into doing some of that work, and I credit kind of him for helping me reframe my mind on some stuff. And it's a really simple thing of that, like when we get up in the morning, you have like the 1 cup of energy, and he's like, that's how you have to think of it. So every time you even just writing a response to someone on like a TikTok, whatever, you don't realize that you are using adrenaline, you're using mental energy. So now I'm a little bit more like, I'm trying to spread myself really thin. So I'm looking like, does this deserve a piece of my cup? And that's how I kind of
I really like that visualization.
Because he's like, so you get to 3 o'clock. Because I was talking to him about some days I get to 3 o'clock and I feel so frazzled. It's not like I'm tired, but I feel so like I'm so irritable, and I feel like I could get so mad at someone for doing something that's really like, not a big deal. And he's like, it's complete adrenal fatigue, because what you're doing, you're running on pure adrenaline. So you're like, our jobs are quite adrenaline based. When you go live on air or you go, you've got adrenaline. And he's like, then you come off and then you're in your comments and you're getting yourself all psyched up again, and then you're going with your friend and you're having fun, but you're also burning. So then you get to 3 and you're like just flatlining.
Yeah, fried.
And since I now think about the cup, I'm sparing my energy a lot more people.
I love the cup.
Yeah.
I actually love that. That is really going to help
isn't
me.
it?
Because I get so pulled in. Like, I would be lying if I said I didn't. And when people are like, oh, I don't read any of my comments, I don't. No. I do. I see them all, okay? And then I get and then I'm like sitting there for 10 minutes going, should I respond? No, don't respond.
Yeah.
You know, they're never going to understand you, da-da-da-da-da. And then you're right. And then that's 10 minutes of energy that you've just wasted on like nothing.
No, I know.
For what? Wow, the cup. I love that.
Yeah.
Do you read your DMs?
Yeah and no. Like, you know what it's like in that request? That it works weirdly, doesn't it? And then you have to kind of open. And actually, do you know what? If I was going to get anything rude or trolly, it's not really in my DMs. They normally come in the comments.
In the comments, yeah.
And they either come in the comments from... I don't want to it's normally women, and it's normally like, love my grandchildren in the bio. I'm like, your grandchildren are not gonna like this shit.
Yeah,
You're trolling a Love Islander. This is like their religion. And then, or it's just a ghost account. So yeah, normally if it's trolly, it's in a comment.
Right.
And also I always think TikTok is a lot more vicious.
Yeah. Oh,
like the Instagram, I think it's way more civilized.
TikTok comment sections, I'm like, do you guys have parents? Like, what is going on? Like,
they have unsupervised internet is a problem.
What is going on? Like, it's actually the Wild West on there.
Yeah.
What do you prefer to, like, in general, Instagram or TikTok? Like, if you're gonna have a scroll and relax, which one will you go to
Insta.
first? I know, me too. We're
I'm a
millennials.
boomer girl, yeah.
I know.
I just feel way more at home with it. I understand the TikTok, like it has its place, but I am an Instagram girl at heart.
I get that. Me too. Do you consider yourself like woo-woo? Like, are you into manifesting at all, or like spirituality?
I'm kind of like, I'm a halfway house.
Okay.
So I do a lot of like like I think putting pen to paper. It's not in the woo-woo of like, I can't get on board too much with like extensive manifestations, and I don't believe that you can sit on your ass and manifest anything. I think I love that saying, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
I love that one too.
And you know, when I was behaving like an absolute prick in my early 20s and things were going wrong for me all the time, I now look back and I'm like, yeah, of course. Of course they were. Yeah. You were doing everything you could to make your own life difficult. So I think the more things you do to do yourself a favour, stuff gets better. Yeah. But I do think the power of putting, it depends if I know you're a pen to paper girl, aren't
100%.
you? So even now I feel cringe saying this, but it really helped me. One night I was here and I was really frazzled after being here for like 4 days. I was really tired and I could feel my little brain almost going into that, like, you know, I never want to be that person that's complaining about being like on a fucking brand trip, or complaining that like you're in New York going to an event. Like, honestly, if I ever turn into that person, someone just take me out. Like, I don't want to be, I don't want to be that girl that ever gets like on my soapbox. So I could feel myself getting aggy and I was tired. And I wrote on a pad of paper, my thing, think about what it took to get here. Think about what you would have thought at 17, that you are in New York, filming podcasts, going to events. Like, just I literally wrote something like, get your fucking head right. And I just put it on my bedside table, went to bed. And just in the morning, I woke up and I was fucking tired, but my head was in a different space.
No, I totally agree.
And it's just as simple as that. It doesn't have to get like all big. It was literally 3 lines.
And I think there's something specifically about pen to paper versus writing on your phone.
So much more powerful.
You know, if you're in a pinch, fine, write it in your notes app, but there's something about writing it. It like gets it out of your body, which I think is such a helpful experience and process. So yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. You are working on so many projects, but I want to touch on one of your shows, Olivia Attwood's Bad Boyfriends. Okay, so if you guys don't know, this is a show where Olivia helps couples by reforming boyfriends with terrible habits and behaviors.
Attempting.
How much do you think a guy can really change?
As much as they want to.
Ooh, that's a really good answer.
And the same as well, I have to say, because everyone gets really mad, the same for women. Yeah. You know, anyone can be, like, I think, who they want to be. And I think what Bad Boyfriends reveals, basically, is how motivated they are. We kind of reveal that really early in. It's like, you see if they have any interest to make the person they're with feel better or happier. And then I think what happens for the girlfriend or the boyfriend in second series, it's like, you're now realizing, okay, this person's an arsehole, but also they're fine with being an arsehole and they're fine with you being upset. Because also, you know, you can only plead ignorance so long. When we're literally showing you, like, this is your girlfriend sobbing, watching you, how you behave, like, you've got the information in front of you.
I totally agree.
You can also, I can see the ones who just don't give a shit.
Who just don't care.
I don't give a fuck.
Have you ever heard the phrase, men marry women hoping that they won't change, women marry men hoping that they will? And do you agree?
I think it's wildly true with a few exceptions.
I agree with you. Yeah, I know.
Because men don't marry fixer-uppers.
Yeah,
they marry the product they look at and they think, yes, like, you're perfect for me. And
I always think about it in terms of Instagram. Like, when a girl is like showing her friends a guy, she'll find like the best picture, even if it's from like 3 years ago, the back of his head. She'll be like, look, like, do you see? And a guy wants a girl who can just show the whole Insta. Doesn't have to find a page. He just is like that. And
we always go, okay, don't judge, because
100%.
when he's my boyfriend, I'm going to get him better clothes, and I've already told him he needs to do his teeth. But
yeah, Men, I always say men date like stockbrokers and women date like venture capitalists. They like women will like take it to the board. They'll be like, team, within 6 months I can get him a job and a better headboard and like a toupee and like this and that, and then do you see the you know, all the potential? Whereas men are just like, that one right there, like, what's in front of me, and they can't even think like beyond that. And I know that's an oversimplifying, but I think it's so interesting how men and women approach it so differently.
And also, it's interesting how we interact with our male and female friends, because it's like, I would sit with my friends and pitch a guy and then defend him. It's like, if their friends were like, no, she's you know, whatever they say, I don't know, she's no good, they would probably be like, oh fuck yeah, maybe she's not.
That's also
they're not going to stay. Can you imagine any guy sitting in the pub and being like, no, hold on though, you know, her aunt did die last month, and you know, she's had a heavy period, and and you know what I mean, they just don't. I know. And also, but I think what a big part that set me free in like my more adult relationships as well, and this is not making excuses for like subpar behavior, but again, generalizing, because there are some very emotionally switched on men, they aren't really thinking about things on the level we are on the whole. And I almost think once you realize that we are so different, it sets you free a little bit. Like, I don't think I'm meant to live with a straight man.
Yeah,
really.
No, I agree with you.
Like, I love him, so I do it. But every time I come home, I'm like, we weren't meant to. Like, the Adam and Eve thing, this is bollocks. Because I was not meant to see boxes like this.
I wish I could live with my gay best friend forever. I've asked him to move in a million times. And then I wish that my boyfriend, I don't have a boyfriend, but like my potential boyfriend would live in a house like kind of close to me. And I would see him like 4 times a week.
Yeah.
And he could come over.
Yeah.
I could. In fact, I probably wouldn't want to go over to his house, but
No,
he could come and visit. He could hang out.
Yeah.
But my love of my life is my best friend. Like, I want to live with him forever. So I get it.
And I feel like if I ever remarried, it would be a lavender marriage.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm interested in.
I've also asked my gay best friend my best friend who is gay, like, if we can get married.
Yeah.
He's like, no, like, I want to find love. I'm like, but us, like, come on.
What about me?
What do you think the biggest mistake that men are making in dating today? I know you've been married for how long? A couple years?
2 years.
2 years.
We've dated on and off for like over a decade.
Right. Because I know you talk to a lot of people in all of your work. Like, what's some, and also, are most of your friends single or married?
There's a real mix.
Okay.
I have to say, like, it's straight down the middle pretty much. Like, it's weird. It's like one side of us are like having a real Peter Pan like year, where we're convincing ourselves we're all at 21 still, and then the other half are like having babies, and then we're at the baby showers like, are we going to do shots? Or it's really the group is so split. It's really divided, but it actually works. It's nice. I'm like loving seeing my friends who are having babies and seeing them in that joy, but I also love having my friends that are also kind of in the headspace I'm at. Don't come for me, because I'm not being sorry for men, but I think some men, when I talk to Brad and I speak to him a little bit about stuff, there's like conflicting messages right out there about women want to do everything themselves, so don't patronise them by holding the door. And then some women are like, oh, I want to be back in my feminine, and I wish that a man would do those things. I think the key thing that men don't do is listen to their partner. They are saying what they want.
So true.
And sometimes they're just not, they're saying it really subtly. And if you don't know, just ask.
Totally.
Like, if I'm vile after work, if I come in, I'm like, Aggie, if Brad just says to me, what do you need? I might say, I need to be alone for like half an hour. And he'll go, it's good. I mean, we don't get this right every day because also we're humans, and sometimes he comes in aggy and I meet him with aggy energy, and it just kind of goes like that. But on the days we get it right, it's like just ask your partner what she needs.
I love that.
It's
I saw
that
this
simple.
thing. I don't know I don't know who thought of it, but maybe it was like a TikTok video, but it was like, it's like together the couple has to equal 100%. And sometimes one person is 10% and one person is
So
90.
good.
Sometimes you're 50-50. And like use communication to figure out where you are, and then you'll get it right. Because so much of it is communication or lack thereof.
I think that you said the 50-50 thing is absolute bullshit. The
Yeah.
50-50 thing is over your relationship. We had,
Yeah.
Brad had an ACL surgery. It was like 90-10, 90 to him, 10 to me for like months. Then I had a bad period and I was working excessively and he was picking up way more the slack. So I think over that relationship, you know that you are going to both try and bring the same to the table, like the emotional load,
Yeah.
but it's not going to be you might get that sweet spot on a Sunday where you're like both 50-50.
You're both like, yeah,
You're
let's go
both
to
on the same, but
lunch.
it's really rare.
Yeah. How do you manage all the travel with your marriage? Like, what's the secret to you both work so hard? You're always traveling. Like, how do you stay connected?
It's really, like, I'm not going to say it's easy, but then also Brad and I are always like, when I'm never going to get my violin out because I'm like, we're both doing our dream jobs. So
Yeah.
like, if we can't live our dream jobs and have a nice life, then that's fucking lame, and that's on us. And I think also the fact that his job is heavy on travel. He travels a lot for football or soccer, as you guys call it. It's not like there's one party just at home. So I think that makes it easier because it makes it harder in the terms of the schedule and the time we get together. But it means that we're both understanding that our jobs take us away from our home. Yeah. So I think we're both really forgiving on each other for that because it's like we know that's how it works. And we're both actually very independent people. And I think that's a key to like the relationship you get into. Are you codependent or can you exist independently? And him and I exist very well independently, and then we're just happier when we're together.
Yeah,
and I think it's about it's nice. And then I think it's like when we are together, it is more fun and we're excited. And the thing is, it's nice to miss someone.
I love missing.
And like
someone.
we're now getting excited to see each other, and when I'm like 2 days, and that's nice. Like after 10 years. It's
Yeah,
nice.
that's incredible. Do you believe in soulmates?
Yes.
Okay,
but
say more.
Yes, I 100% do. And I think you can have more than one.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think your soulmate is your life partner.
How did you know Brad was the one, or at least how did you know you wanted to marry him, and at what point? Because I think it is interesting that you guys dated on and off.
With Brad, and even though we were on and off, I'm not going to pretend it's been perfect. We've both done some stupid shit that is like, pushed the relationship into rocky waters. Is the first guy that I never had to. You talk about this. You do this thing on your TikTok. It's like, God forbid I'm not in a relationship where it's like trying to have a good day.
Yeah.
So I had so many of those relationships. Let's try and have a nice day. Let's try and not argue. It's actually send me to hell.
Literally. Like, I will never do that again. God. Like, seriously.
So Brad and I never, it's just been ease. It's very, when I'm with him, it's like, I feel calm. It's easy. It's like a connection that's like, it's a calmness that I didn't know I didn't know I wanted, I didn't know it existed. But with that, it's not boring and it's not like dull. It's like we fancy each other and it's passionate, but it's just calm. I never feel like I'm treading on eggshells, and I feel like I like myself so much more when I'm with him.
I love that. I think that's so important. I think it's like when you feel comfortable around the person, and it's not always like the guy who gives you the most crazy butterflies, because usually that's like anxiety masked as like whatever, like, infatuation.
Is he gonna propose or is he gonna kill me?
Yeah, like no, it's like the person who you feel just like they just make everything like a little bit better, and they make you like yourself. I think that's so key for girls to hear.
Because I had so many thoughts and feelings about myself that I was left with from relationships of thinking like I'm really annoying, and I know so many women say this, but I'm too much, or I talk too much, and he's never made me feel like that ever. And like I do fucking talk too much, and sometimes like I need to be told to shut the fuck up, and he will tell me when it's the right time to shut the fuck up. He also doesn't like roll over and let me just like stomp all over him. It's contrary to what some people believe of our relationship. He's a calm, quiet guy, but he's not a pushover.
Yeah.
And I always knew, well, I didn't know. Now I know that I was meant to be with a quiet man. Like a very, you don't need two yappers.
Yeah.
It's too much yapping.
No, you need a rock and a
And
star.
I always thought I wanted the guy that was like making a prick of himself in front of everyone and making everyone laugh. Because I was drawn to that energy. I thought, oh, it's sexy. But then actually, like, because I'm also extroverted, you can't have two.
I like that.
You really can't. Like, you have to have one. Like Teffy just said this on the podcast. You have to have one diva.
Yeah.
You can't have two divas.
No. Yeah. You have to have a rock and a star. So it's a rock star. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I love that. You said something in there, like people's opinion about your relationship. Does that bother you that people judge your relationship like that? Is that a sensitive spot when people make comments about it, or you don't care?
No.
That's great.
I feel like we've had I mean, it won't be so in tune for your US listeners, but if you're in the UK listening, like we've had a hot summer of like being under the microscope, and you know, like last week, all the weekly mags, I was on the front and they were saying we're getting a divorce, and I was like, no, but it's weird. I think I've managed to make really good peace with like the press, and I kind of sometimes I step back and I'm like, God, have I made too good peace with it? I kind of feel like, especially in the UK, being on television, you need the press. They need you, and I just emotionally, unless they were writing something about me that was like, you know, of my character, and they're like, she's a kitten murderer, I'm going to be like, shut, you know, fuck I am. But if you're going to be like, just kind of picking up scraps and putting together and doing your job, and it's not really hurting anyone, and Brad doesn't give a fuck, like he's not reading, you know, New Magazine. It's like,
that's so healthy, though.
We're quite disconnected from it. Because I also think that's the cup thing. Because I remember talking to my therapist about press, and he's like, another thing. He's like, are you ever going to be able to control their narrative 100%? I'll be like, no, of course. He's like, well, then you need to decide how much energy you're going to give this. He's like, because do you want to be in this industry? Do you want your career to grow more than it is? Well, this is the deal. So you have to, again, decide how much energy you give it. And I just don't give it much energy.
Good for you. I think that's so healthy and speaks to the strength of your relationship.
And I think that's why we've survived, and I think that's why I've survived in a post-Love Island world. And I try and say this to like Love Islanders coming off now about sounding patronising. Like, don't get in the comments. Don't get in the Daily Mail comments. Just let them do their thing. Like, it's
a separate entity. It has nothing to do with you in a way.
Don't let it eat you up. And I think the other thing as well, being in this industry, if you want to be impactful, you have to be okay with like being a little bit like, you have to be a little bit Marmite. Because if you're so neutral that no one gives a shit about you and no one says anything about you,
then it's kind of over.
You need to be a little bit okay with like people feeling polarizing about you, because at the end of the day, if they feel something, that feeling, that's quite powerful. Because, you know, we're living in a generation where you want people to watch things, stream things, comment on things. So sometimes if there's a handful of comments calling me a bitch, I mean, you're still helping my numbers.
Right, exactly. We algorithm.
Well, I'll take them over. No comment. Thank you
100%.
for engaging, you know. And then if they start arguing with each other in the comments, even better.
Even better.
Go fucking
kick off.
go
Don't
nuts.
even involve me. Yeah.
I'm going to sit this one out.
I think it's really cool that you still go out with your friends, even though you're married.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to have friendships, even though you work really hard and you're married, you're in a committed relationship? You still seem to put a lot of effort into your friendships. Has that always been important? And speak to a little bit about that.
My friends are like just not to quote, you know, Sex and the City, but they are my soulmates. Yeah. And like my friends have quite literally at times saved my life and pulled me from like the darkest moments of my adult life. And I love my friends so much, and I love time with my friends. I love having fun. I love being silly. I know you're the same. I love clubbing. Like I am just always down to have a good time. And I know it's not for everyone, but also I feel like, you know, a lot of what I do can feel quite restricted and quite like clinical and like robotic. And then it's like, if I can go and let loose for the night, I want to. And my friends are so fun. Yeah. And it's like, you know, when we was in Ibiza, and it's like what people see is like, you know, pictures of me coming out of beach club, whatever, and I'm drunk. But what my memories from that holiday is like lying on the bed in the morning, like four of us, and we're laughing so much. Like I can't breathe. Like I'm in physical pain. I'm gonna actually pee all over this bed. that's like the memories that I will carry forever. It's not even really what happened the night before. It's
Totally.
It's the next day.
It's the rehashing. It's the private jokes. It's like all that stuff. I'm totally with you.
And I think that, you know, and Brad has such a big group of friends, and like being a footballer, it's like all about, you know, fucking team bonding. If I hear that word one more time over the last 10 years, that's what I say to every time he has a night out. He's like, oh, it's team bonding. I'm like, Ibiza, team bonding. We'll get the team together. We gotta get that team bonded. But it's important. And then I think when you have two social people with their own social lives, again, it's really healthy.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. I think it's so important for people to maintain their own friend groups, even if they're in a relationship. Because otherwise, if you abandon all your friends, shit happens.
But Pete, you know, that's my warning to. I always want to say to young girls, because they weren't successful. But I have many friends that tried to separate me from my friends, or plant seeds about my friends, and I don't like your friends, and they're this. Be really wary of those dudes.
Yeah, you should want a man who like encourages you to maintain your friendships.
No.
Okay, so you also have a new podcast coming out called Olivia's House. What can you tell us about it?
This is my new podcast. We had my old podcast. It came to the end of its run. It worked perfectly. I loved it. But also when we were like at the end of that 2 years, I was just like, I feel like I need to rebrand to something that feels so much more aligned with me. Really, that's more from an aesthetic point of view. Like I was like, I've outgrown the pink and the purple and the neon lights. Yeah. It's basically, I want it. It is a club, right? It's anyone can come in the club as long as you are not judgmental. Like you can swear, just throw down a martini or a non-alcoholic martini, whatever your take, and we're just gonna have like stupid and meaningful conversations. I love that. And just kick back, and that's really the vibe I want it to feel like a members club, but
obsessed.
Everyone's invited.
I love that. We're very into members clubs here in New York.
Well,
so
and that's why it felt like it made an obvious place to come and film a podcast.
Obsessed. Where can people find you? What should people be looking at? Where can they consume everything?
So depending where you are, all my TV shows are on ITVX. You can get them with a VPN if you're in the US, and then my podcast will be anywhere you get your podcast.
I love that. And where can they find you online? At Olivia Attwood?
At Olivia Attwood on TikTok is the same.
She's a great follow. You guys, you should follow
just
her.
find me on Olivia Attwood on Instagram and TikTok. Got social media, head of social media in the background being like...
that's why she's here.
Yeah, that's why she's here. To keep me young.
To keep you young. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this incredible conversation with Olivia. Please don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss a thing. Write me a comment, write me a love letter, do whatever you do. Love ya. Bye.